Today we are looking at equivalent fractions. We know that a fraction is a part of a whole or less than one. But what is an equivalent fraction? Equivalent fractions are fractions that are the same size but represented differently. To begin with, we will repeat the fundamental concepts of fractions, which relates back to the whole parts concepts, using the appropriate language of the material language stage. To demonstrate these concepts to students, I have designed this resource. This red ball here represents one whole. We now know that this one ball of Play-Doh represents one whole. How many same-sized balls do we have in our halves column? 1, 2. We have 2 halves. If we put our 2 halves together, this will represent one whole as well. Therefore, we know that 2 equal halves equals 1 whole. In the quarters column, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. If we mix these 4 quarters together, we again make 1 whole. So we know that 4 quarters makes 1 whole and 2 halves makes 1 whole. These are equivalent fractions. If we now look at our eighths column, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 same-sized balls. If we have 8 eighths and again mix them all together, we know that 8 eighths are also equal to 1 whole. Therefore, 2 halves are equivalent to 1 whole, 4 quarters are equivalent to 1 whole, and 8 eighths are equivalent to 1 whole. As our halves, quarters, and eighths are all equal to 1 whole, we can see that these are equivalent fractions because they are equivalent to each other. They are the same fraction but represented in these different ways.